Welcome to the Twist News. I'm Erika Grey. In an unprecedented attack today, Hamas waged war on Israel, which Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced this morning that Israel was at war. Benjamin Netanyahu announced it shortly after over 5,000 rockets were launched into Israel by Hamas. Many of these were intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome. And the footage coming onto Twitter was shocking of Israeli citizens being taken hostage. A woman, a German woman, violently raped, being paraded naked on the back of a truck, among other shocking footage and celebration of these attacks, in addition to the war that smacked of the Yom Kippur War of 50 years ago that is now on Israel's doorstep and that Israel is now facing. And Benjamin Netanyahu has promised retaliation. So what does this all mean? Where did this come from? This has come on the heels of Benjamin Netanyahu's speech at the UN, where he proposed a new Middle East and an agreement with Saudi Arabia, as if putting a wrench into that agreement. And now Saudi Arabia has come out and is blaming Israel for the attack and stating that if Israel had dealt with the Palestinians and what the Arab world calls the occupation, that this attack would not have taken place. According to the Washington Examiner, Saudi Arabia blames Israel for unprecedented Hamas terror attack. The kingdom calls for an immediate halt to the escalation between the two sides, the protection of civilians and restraint. The Saudi Foreign Ministry said Saturday as Israeli defense forces engage in gun battles with Hamas terrorists. The kingdom recalls its repeated warnings of the dangers of the explosion of the situations as a result of the continued occupations, the deprivation of the Palestinian people of their legitimate rights, and the repeating of systematic provocation against its sanctities. So we see Saudi Arabia now coming out on the side of the terrorist, essentially, or on the cause of the terrorists, and putting a seeming halt to the agreement with Israel. But we don't yet know what's going to happen as a result of this current war that is now taking place in Israel. Everybody can speculate, but everything is subject to change. And we're not sure of the direction. We know that Israel has promised retaliation, but it can go in either direction. Nations around the globe now have recognized the danger of Hamas. And if anything, this now is going to be cemented into the minds of world leaders who weren't getting the memo. Well, they've got it now. So this might work in the opposite direction that Hamas hopes, and might actually turn opinion more in favor of Israel in seeing the plight of what the Israelis are going through. In addition, Biden has promised support, and there's been talk of escalation. Possibly, could this include a war with Iran? And as eyes turned to Iran, Iran stated that the Palestinians were acting in self-defense and praised the attack. But we don't see Iran joining it. Russia has urged the sides to all talk. The European Union, the UK, France, Italy, Germany, is that they are standing with Israel against this terrorist attack, this major war that is launched by terrorists. The EU bloc condemned the attacks in the strongest possible terms, and this could very much sway their opinion and direct it in favor of Israel and what Israel has been stating all along of what it has been dealing with Hamas. And this was a total surprise attack that Israel had no knowledge of. And there's talk of why did Israel have no knowledge? How come they didn't know? So we're going to hear more about that in the days to come. But Benjamin Netanyahu has promised an unprecedented attack for this war that was now just waged on Israel. The Saudi-Israel deal is on the table, and you have to speculate that the timing of this came because of that deal. Also, when Sir Benjamin Netanyahu spoke of the Middle East peace deal at the UN and presented the new Middle East as if they're going to throw a wrench in Netanyahu's new Middle East. And it may end up that this is going to shoot Hamas in the foot, because the European Union, UK, France, Germany, and Italy all have come out on the side of Israel, and the European Union strongly condemned Hamas. Now, this is significant because the EU tends to be pro-Palestinian, very pro-two-state solution and 67 borders, and they came out and strongly condemned Hamas. So this may turn their opinion to now see the threat that Israel has faced, that it's been trying to tell the world that it faces, and now it's obvious. So they may have actually helped shift opinion away from their cause and in favor of what Israel. So this is unprecedented. This smacks of the Yom Kippur War of 50 years ago, but it's a little too early to speculate, to say how this is going to affect Israel, how it's going to affect the region. It's still unfolding, and in the days ahead, there will be some more speculation that will be able to be made. But currently, the current is that the deal with Saudi Arabia might be on hold. I doubt very much at this time that this is going to gain the Palestinians' sympathy for their cause, not when you have a terrorist attack, a launch of a war, over 5,000 missiles, hostages taken. This has gotten very ugly. The images on Twitter are very, very shocking and upsetting, and we have yet to see how this is going to play out. But I speculate that it's not going to be so favorable, because this attack is looked down on and frowned on. It was a bad move on the part of Hamas to launch a war against Israel at this time. It's not going to gain it public opinion. This is very much frowned upon, and I believe it's going to boomerang and end up in Israel's favor, because finally people are going to pay attention to what Israel has been saying all along, and it's gone on deaf ears. Well, I don't think it's going on deaf ears anymore. This is a difficult situation for Israel, and I will be reporting in the days ahead. So stay tuned for more. Subscribe to this channel. Check out our Amazon store. And till next time.